back to another episode of Critical Affection, where we affectionately criticize pop culture that we love. And I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm here with Amanda and Brian and Fred. Only Fred is higher now. He gets to be on the top shelf.
Hey guys. Yeah, but we're balanced. We're counterbalanced.
Yeah,
you know?
It works. It's good today. We're not gonna mess with it because we've already had enough technical difficulties for the day.
Right.
All right.
So many.
But we persevered. Today we're talking about a double feature that Fred picked of The Hustler and The Color of Money. So I hope the Paul Newman fans have tuned in to praise and or bitch about this movie set. There are two of them. I know I'm ready. But first, I got a couple of things. Well, actually, I just got one thing, and for me specifically, I want you guys to go do, and that's, there we go. There. Go back or go follow the pre-launch. Go follow the pre-launch. Just type Dr. Luca into the Kickstarter search, and it'll come right up. It's the very first one, and it's the Die Hard girl there. So just do that. It's really good. I think so anyway.
Crushing it on the pre-launch. So. Very nice.
And well, yeah, Brian's read the script. Brian, I don't think you've seen much of the art, have you? But he read the script and he thinks it's pretty good.
The early.
Yeah. So, anyway, yeah, go do that. And then let me get back out of here. Fred picked the movies today because you got something going on yourself, and you should start talking about that while I pull this up.
Absolutely. So Fisticuffs is back. We're now up to book 4. So Fisticuffs 1 through 4 will be available. For those of you that don't know, it's the story of a barely functional drunk whose comfortable life derails after a one-night stand has deadly consequences. And we are talking about it today in line with The Hustler and these movies because it is about just the worst kind of protagonist. You know, somebody that is like self-important, self-righteous, thinks he's the center of the universe. And unfortunately, despite like every once in a while, a few glimmers of, righteousness or, awesomeness, they are ultimately hamstrung by their own deficiencies. And we're going to get into that in the movie. And as the book, we're going to get into the movie story as it evolves, but Fisticuffs, we're coming back with books 1 through 4 now. As we said, it is for fans of people that enjoy things like Preacher and The Boys, but that type of vulgar, violent, dark comedy, but elevated somewhat, as if they were directed by Martin Scorsese is the example that I use. So if you're fans of Preacher or The Boys, definitely check that out. We're about to get into the fun, explosive, Invincible style action of the saga, and as I said, it's a 6-issue miniseries, and we're getting ready to launch 1 through 4 in May. So jump on board.
Very cool. Kevin Davis is here, and he says Fred is an asshole for Fisticuffs, and in parentheses, in a good way.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that, and that's kind of the fun of the story is that, and we're going to get to talk about it a little bit, but it's why I like The Hustler and The Color of Money kind of as a companion piece, because it's like The Hustler is, he's kind of like living and like learning the lessons, and then like The Color of Money is kind of him later on, like reflecting back and kind of fully appreciating what an asshole and douchebag he really was. And it's kind of the journey that I get to be on with Fisticuffs, where like I get to write about this, awful character that was very close to me in my young age, and kind of distance myself from him, but also at the same time, like kind of enjoy him, but like at the same time be kind of like horrified that I ever did and occasionally relapse in behaving that way. But yeah, it'll be fun today, I hope.
Yeah, there's a very generous preview on your pre-launch page here. So if y'all are like uncertain if this is the thing that you're gonna like, definitely just go check out the page, which I did link in the comments there. And yeah, have a look at that, because if you like what you see, you're gonna like what's coming up next.
Yeah, and how could you not like what you see with the art team? Like, not putting myself over, but my God, Stan, Robert, Timothy, like Dave, Dave pulled it on this. The various covers we got. Lucas and Boyan and everybody have been like home run. So I'm very lucky to get to work with the team.
Outstanding. Yeah, it's all real good. Like we've gotten to see quite a bit because we're special, and it all looks great, and the story's good. The story's, well, like you said, it's messed up in a good way, in a fun way, which I said something to the effect of, it's like you don't want to like the guy, like the main character, but you can't stop watching what's happening. So it's it's really interesting. It's a really interesting story, and you should read it.
Thank you.
So, all right, so go click the link there, and then like maybe give a follow. You don't have to back if like you're not committing to anything right now except to being notified at the launch. So like just go back and just go follow.
And we've got a lot of really neat stuff planned for those, for the first 72 hours. We're going to have an exclusive cover that's going to be available only for the first 72. We're going to have discounts on the catch-up tiers if you want to jump in and, see what's going on. So there's going to be lots of opportunities so you do want to be, if you want to be involved, you want to be notified of that early bird 72-hour window.
Oh, let's make it a goal here to get to 65 by the end of the night.
Hell yeah.
We can do that. That's 3.
Yeah, tell your friends, people. Tell your friends.
I mean, I feel like Kevin, there's no way Kevin hasn't followed already, but there's got to be somebody.
Kevin can be very intimidating. Go peer pressure some people, or he's a tastemaker. He says things people will like. They'll listen. Yeah, Kevin, twist arms, bro. Please.
I believe it. Yeah. Okay. Amanda and Brian have turned into a circle.
It's going to be one of those nights. We need to just ride on, and when they get in, we should just drop what we're doing and give the floor to them. And then
they're I don't know where they are. They're like I think they might be on the Artemis 2, like that mission there. Like that's what the Wi-Fi situation is there. So
they went around the far side of the
moon. Yeah, and
we were bound to lose them.
Just got their internet back. It's not great. So what are we gonna do? So the movies that you picked, The Hustler from 1961.
Yes, very good. Yes.
Wherein $200 was a goddamn fortune, guys. I used an inflation calculator. We're talking about like $15,000 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Was it really?
Okay, maybe I'm thinking of a different number, but I googled a lot of numbers while I was watching this movie, and I do know that the amount of money that he wins at the end is equivalent to like house, like buy a house, man. Not like a shitty starter house either, like a decent house in the Midwest. Not like in Florida. You're not getting a good house for that, but like it's decent. It's decent. It's a very comfy amount of money. And then we find out in The Color of Money that he takes that money and he turns it into a very nice living as a liquor salesman. But at first, when I started watching this movie, I didn't see how it connected to Fisticuffs. But by the end, particularly by the end of The Hustler, I was like, oh yeah, this is got it. So
we'll get into that quite a bit because there's a lot of like character things and behavior things and also the tone too, because Color of Money is directed by Martin Scorsese, and forever I've been using Martin Scorsese when I talk about this because Fisticuffs has a really gritty, grounded look. I mean, even though it gets really kind of crazy Invincible style action and very over the top, like you believe that because of like the grounded, character and the grounded like art, which Stan and the team made look like, like a 70s or 80s independent, not only say independent film, but like a film like it was directed by Scorsese or Cassavetes or one of those guys. Getting really nerd out today because I picked the Paul Newman movie. Yes.
What are our opening thoughts of this movie? I mean, you've started here, Fred, so why don't you just carry on? Like, what are your opening thoughts?
I really loved it. Love them because you don't really get a lot of, I guess you would call them like duologies, right? Like a movie and its sequel that like bookend a life that way and kind of skip over the middle part, right? It's a really weird, I don't know how intended it was, but they do fit together quite nicely. Obviously, Paul Newman is the connective tissue, but The Hustler in particular, I love because I have a huge affinity for like old Hollywood movies. I really love, films of that era. And like in the 60s, you didn't get a lot of gritty content, right? Like this was about as gritty as you can get, because a lot of the studios were like, a lot of the studios were conforming to like old. I get confused at the comics, which one was the Hays Code and which one, but there were a lot of restrictions on them, right? Like they weren't able to do, Hollywood didn't start doing really adult, provocative, more violent and gritty movies until like the late 60s, right? Mm-hmm. So this is kind of one of the first ones, one of the bridges in that like black and white Elia Kazan style into the future of like what became gritty cinema. And I like how it grounds itself without being especially like crude, vulgar, or violent. Like there's a lot of very adult stuff going on, and a lot of very adult themes here, and they handle it pretty tastefully because of their restrictions. So I love it for the time it invokes. And I'm going to get really nerdy here, but what the hell? If you haven't stopped listening to me yet, you're probably going to stay. I think I use an analogy a lot, that every human being is like a car, right? Like we all essentially work the same way, but like if I were to suddenly wake up in Sarah's body, I wouldn't be able to operate it the same way, right? There's different, like mental health, or whatever the issues may be, right? Like my brain is wired different than what?
It said your back would be so sore.
I've got issues too, buddy. You're not gonna, your life's not gonna be easy. But my point is like, everything is like really, we all have different operating systems, right? And it's like, even though you can get in somebody's car, you could probably figure it out. Some people have a bum this, some people have a thing that you can only work this way. If you drive a car in Europe, you're driving on the other side of the car and the other side of the road. So we're all different, and it takes us, I think it's like important to have a healthy respect for people, because you don't understand how they're made up at all. Like you have no frame of reference for it other than your own. And I kind of like that analogy in this movie, because it's kind of like he spent his entire lifetime kind of learning how to drive his own car. It's like when he was young, stop it, buddy. When he was young, he had all the talent, but he didn't have, like they said, the character or the maturity. When he was later in life, like he had the maturity, but he was still like a little too slow. And then like The Color of Money, we kind of get to the point at the end where he's finally like his best version of himself. So I like that journey in the way that the movies kind of take this place over this long period of time and kind of tell one story while telling two. So that's my initial take.
Yeah. It had been a long time since I'd seen an old movie, like from pre-1970, really.
Yeah.
And so when I watched this one, I was like, oh yeah, the pacing on these was never as good as, like, I don't want to say it's bad, because for the time I'm sure it was amazing, but I was like, oh, the pacing on movies is so much better now. And my thoughts were like, this could have been an hour and a half movie. So
I don't know about that, but okay, that's fair.
It's mostly the scenes where they're showing a view, and they kind of linger on it a little too long. And I was like, hey, but didn't need to do that. But I don't disagree that, like, I don't know that I think anything should have been cut, but I feel like some of it could have been tightened up a little bit. The story's there, but the whole process of telling the story in that movie is completely different to the way that we're used to movies now from like 1980, 1975, 1980 on.
Oh, 100%.
And so it was a completely different experience. And I don't want to say I felt bored at any point, because that's not accurate, but there were times where I was like, okay, now get to the point. So yeah. Brian is trying to participate here. It felt like the Hustler took his time, which, yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily. I think there were points where they could have tightened up the screws on that, though. And
hey, Aaron.
And the Hustler, The Color of Money, pre-douchebag Tom Cruise.
Like, I think that's maximum.
Like he's kind of a douchebag in this movie too, but he's also like a earnest idiot in this movie as well.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like the most lovable douchebag of Tom Cruise. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's him being it's like him being a douchebag in its natural element, like 80s over the top. Like I love how like jet black they sprayed his hair in this movie. Like they really went
God.
out of their way to make him look Italian.
There were like 4 different times where I'm like, why does that look like Charlie Sheen? Did they replace him with Charlie Sheen? Yeah, it was interesting. That fucking hairdo, man. That hairdo.
Oh, it was something else. All the hair in that movie, her hair was pretty impressive too.
Yeah. He like Tom Cruise's character was pretty insecure, which, you know, that's that would be relatable for a lot of people, not just men. But like he was specifically insecure when it came to his girlfriend.
Oh, so he played him like a fiddle because of it. Like, and that
Absolutely,
was
yeah. Which I was like, that part made me kind of feel mad at Fast Eddie because I was like, you had this horrible thing happen to you with a girl that you said you loved, and then you're gonna go and turn around and you're gonna play Carmen and Vincent just like Bert played you. Like, why would he not have learned a lesson from that?
So there's something really interesting that happened to me. I don't know if it was this time watching the movie or maybe it was the last time I saw The Color of Money, but there he really is like unnecessarily cruel to them. You know, like there are softer ways to teach him that lesson rather than getting him beat up. You know, and I get it. It's like the 80s and it's the time and it's a sports movie to some degree, and we're celebrating the culture. But like, if you approach him as like an actual person, like there are better ways to.
Like, it's really hard to get injured playing pool. Maybe they just needed some blood because it's not football. Like there's football, baseball, basketball. There's always a chance for impact, but it's really hard to get hurt playing pool.
He found a way, though.
Well, his behavior there, though, was really about the abuse he suffered from Bert and Charlie back in the day. That's what he became. He was both abused and then became an abuser in the same way. And so he's now dishing out that abuse to the next generation.
Yeah. Trauma.
Guys, why don't you
Your
go?
generational
Brian, we've got you guys going. Why don't you guys tell us your
Yeah. Tell us your opening thoughts while we still have you.
Right, yeah. Hopefully it won't pixelate out horribly, but opening thoughts is that The Hustler is a very long, slow train wreck of embarrassment and incoherentness. And then the Color of Money is a very frenetic, trying to wrap up a midlife crisis kind of thing. And you can kind of see some themes pulling throughout, but like The Hustler is just unequivocally such a bad movie that they needed to do a lot in The Color of Money to kind of redeem.
Oh, Fred, don't get too mad. You knew it was coming.
No. That's part of why I love doing this so much. I honestly thought you would like it a little bit better than that, but that's.
No, it did. It needed. It wasn't just the pacing. It was the story is there, but it's Well, I mean, look, watching
the
it.
story is there, but the core of it is he's trying to have his success, his win against Fats, but he doesn't know what the win is, and it's never defined. They eventually settle on saying it's character, but they never say what character is or explain character for real.
Well,
yeah, very true.
Well, okay, I'm gonna argue back just a little bit. Not argue, but you know, counter that. I'll say. I think the growth is him like giving it up and walking away. Like it's, you know, I think a lot of movies, like you kind of get, especially like sports movies, right? You kind of get your victory by like overcoming the bad guy. And like, yes, technically this kind of does, you know, end with him beating Fats and, you know, and all that, but it's him being able to like walk away from the game and realize like, you know, this is just not, I guess, like a way to live, you know, basically. I mean, to me, I approach, you know, I approach a lot of stories, you know, with more of like an addiction mindset. And to me, like, that's very much what the story is about, right? Is like, he's they talk about his character in the beginning, or his default being that he's doesn't know when he's already won. Like, he just has to keep playing until he loses. And I don't know, as a, you know, as a drinker and stuff, like I was that's how I approached drinking. Like, I always tried to get as much as possible. And like the way he, I mean, if you watch him in the beginning, the way he like romanticizes and fetishizes the way Fats plays, like the way the cue slides through his fingers and stuff like that, like, you know.
Behavior and mannerisms throughout that entire movie. Yeah.
Brian said
yes.
Sarah does not get what? I didn't like that.
Correct.
I pointed that out talking yesterday. I was like, why did they have to fridge her?
I don't have a good answer for that.
Yeah, the lack of motivation made go look at the book. And then we ended up listening to the audiobook to try and get some context. And it was actually rather helpful for a lot of the pieces. I can actually explain why they fridged her, I think. There's two things happening. The Hays cannot show Hays is people having marital is enjoyable. They must show it as being to do. So killing her is a great way to show that extramarital sex is not the way to go. Additionally, looking at that scene, looking at how everything played out, I'm pretty sure they were skirting around the Hays Code to explain that Bert raped her and then murdered her.
Oh.
Okay. Because I mean, he's certainly responsible for her death, but it kind of looked like she did it to herself.
Yeah, there wasn't enough blood. There was very little blood there, and it's very staged. And she is a strong character. They've shown her throughout this movie as being strong. She's telling him that he's a winner.
Mm-hmm. That's a character for her.
Not a character. She wouldn't have done that.
It's so hard.
Yeah,
you're breaking up bad right now.
I'm with you. I was with you on the rape part. I thought that, but I thought the suicide was suicide because it did look very like methodical and in the thing.
I just assumed that the lack of blood was because they couldn't show that, but it is black and white, so it's just a dark pool. I don't know. There should have been more blood if she slashed her own wrists, though, right?
I don't know. I saw a
warning at the beginning of this saying we are going to talk about suicide. I'm so sorry if anybody's watching this and needed that warning. We should have said something about that. There is suicide in this movie, and yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they totally inserted that. That was not in the book at all. So they were making choices. The guys who wrote and rewrote this were making interesting choices.
Yeah, and that does track the. I've heard that before about like the consequences of like any kind of sex in those kinds of movies, right? Like.
Are you hearing them fine, Sheldon? Because I'm not. Amanda's breaking up. Sheldon just asked. He said they're breaking up with a question mark here, and I can barely understand what Amanda's saying. So, if you guys can hear,
dang it.
No, I've gotten a good amount. I mean, enough that I understand what she's saying, and I agree.
Yeah, I'm getting the gist of what I smell what you're stepping in. It would be nicer if it was clear. But,
I strongly agree.
So what happens in the book with Sarah? What does she just leave?
Just continuing. Yeah. You're not going to be able to hear me.
I was wondering because like she didn't need to die. She just needed to be gone in order for Eddie to suffer the consequences all the same. Like she had just been gone. It's what she was planning to do. Like you could see that she had her bag packed and she was going to leave. And yeah, it's
They also made their relationship way more.
And is solid. Yeah, thank you for clarifying. Yeah. Are we waiting for you, Banda? This is Major Tom to ground control.
Oh, we lost him.
Ah, shit. Well, yeah, I want to know. I want to know what happens. I did not read the book. I didn't.
I haven't
actually
either.
know about the book. So that's it. It's very interesting, and yeah, the obviousness of the what's the constraints that they were under with the code was there, and it like probably wasn't noticeable in 1961, but it was definitely noticeable in 2026.
Mhm.
And they didn't really, they showed them kind of playing house together, but she says that they sleep together, but they never show anything more than light kissing. And yeah, Bert, absolute piece of shit. Exactly the character that he's supposed to be. Like, somebody had to be the antagonist. I don't quite understand what Fats meant to Eddie, as Amanda was sort of saying.
Yeah. So again, I would just fall back on the idea of it's just like he's like a young man and he's just trying to out and like prove himself, right? And that's what any of these like sports movies are about, right? It's like, the young cocksure guy goes out to conquer the world, gets humbled, and then comes back in like leaner form and stuff. It's actually reminds me very much of like superhero formula in a way too. Like superhero journeys are, very much, like the same thing down to the like the mentor figures.
We're gonna try again.
Good, let him go.
Yeah, I can see superhero journey on this one too. Bridging the girlfriend again.
Yeah. And that's also too, like, that's one of the things that I really didn't like about the movie is it is like, 60s, male screenwriters and stuff, like no, female input at all.
Okay.
Which was par for the course in that time.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I wonder if there was I'm sure if I go digging, I'd find some pushback on that, because the Hustler's hardly the only movie that they killed the immoral woman in the 60s. So it's I can think of one right off the top of my head. Madam X is that way, I think. Or maybe I might be thinking of the wrong movie, but like there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, I'm thinking of all the noir movies. Like they all end badly for the woman. They all end badly for everyone.
The woman that
Restream is a piece of shit.
Restream is not great. Yes, that is
geez.
true. I hope you guys can hear us. Like, we
Of course,
can
that
hear
came through.
Not gonna be nearly as your comical internet connection.
It really is just obnoxious at this point. Yeah. Yeah, they did absolutely kill her in part because she was disabled. That was part of the ableism that was happening in there. And also that ties into the Chicago ugly law, where if you were disabled, you weren't allowed to be in public. So there was some of that happening too.
Wait. I gotta Google something.
I never heard of that. Please.
Yeah, I remember him mocking her for being.
It's the 1881 ugly law that was only removed in 1974. So they were still under the ugly law, where if you were disabled, disfigured, etc., you should not appear in public or you would be fined.
Oh, wow. Made it illegal for people with disability, disease, or deformity that rendered them, quote, unsightly or disgusting to appear in public spaces. That's horrifying. And somehow not surprising
100% horrifying. But yeah, an independent woman who was unnatural and going to college and not married would definitely qualify as something that was someone who should be being suffered under the ugly law by that kind of societal logic.
Yeah, because like I thought she was a great character, like especially like for that era. Like that was a great character, and not just because she had the best name, but because like she was strong and she was smart and she was trying to better herself. despite her flaws, which like she was obviously had a drinking problem, and I suppose they didn't know in the 60s that she was definitely going to get cancer from all those cigarettes, but you know, like she was a good, solid character, and like did good stuff for Eddie. Like she brought him stability, and that's why Bert hated her. I'm sure is because he needed for Eddie to be unstable so that he could manipulate him easier.
Oh, absolutely. Bert's abuse was strongly based on tearing Eddie down, telling him he was a loser, and trying to give him this brass ring of character to reach for.
Yeah. And then
Sarah
Eddie
was saying, "You're a winner." She literally said, "You're a winner." The counterpoint to Bert. Like, yeah. And in many ways, both of those characters and Charlie were almost an external version of what was happening inside of, because they were lost again.
No, we heard you.
I think there's a lag too.
Oh, okay, good. It's a horrible game here, but yeah.
I didn't see nearly as much of the manipulation in Charlie. Like, it's obvious Bert's meant to be like a hyper sadistic version of Charlie, but like I can see it in Charlie. I can see that he's trying to control Eddie, because Eddie's the like.
Oh yeah.
Eddie could hustle money without Charlie, but Charlie needed Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it made
absolutely
sense that they needed
Charlie and. Yeah, Charlie and Bert are both representing like commercialism and capitalism in the system here. They are controlling the talent, and they got their hooks into him early. Like Charlie was talked about knowing Eddie when he was a teenager and taking him under his wing, and started the financial abuse and the psychological manipulation at that point, training him up to learn to love to get the money, which is why Fats was to get the money, because that's what Charlie had trained him on. But then he realized he didn't have that satisfaction from getting the money and wanted to keep going. And so there's a question of what is success then if it's not what. And so that question is looming for the audience, but Eddie has he is a shallow pond. He has no introspection. So he just proceeds to gamble it all away and doesn't know why, and is dissatisfied and just wants a rematch because he feels like that'll fill the hole.
Mm-hmm.
He tells them that the hole is character, but never defines it to him, except sort of later gets the impression that character is going to mean that he's a ruthless bastard who will go and have grit. He'll go and be willing to just keep going until the other guy stays down, which is sort of a definition. Bert's really intending to try and say that you're supposed to go until you've taken him for all the money you can. Like, all of them are all about the money, and the guy who's got talent, who's figuring out, even though these people are like manipulating him, that kind of what he's after is the joy of the game, like being the best at, is what we see in The Color of Money, where he's out of the game for a while, and then he's basically become Bert, and he's trying to be the money manager and the Bert who's winning, and he's doing so great. And that's why the scene where he gets taken by another hustler is this wake-up call to the fact that he'll never be a perfect Bert who can read everyone, and that he doesn't want to be, and that's not what he really wants. Instead, he just rediscovers that he really wants to be the best in the game. And that makes it really way more interesting that he's like undoing this generational trauma, and what he wants and what his definition of success is to be the winner. And the movie, and again, the book are so different, but like the movie takes it as he realizes that he'll keep going until he wins, because he's, the best that he'll ever be, and then that's his big win. In the book, he actually wins the tournament. He achieves his success. So they don't just, the movie The Color of Money ending without him actually achieving his definition of success was blue ovaries, and I did not appreciate it. I
hated that. Yeah, that sucked.
We're looking for.
Oh, I like it though.
That absolutely sucked. I thought, like, why? Why would he? Yes, he didn't get an honest win over Vincent, but like, so there were still several other amazing players in the game. One of whom would likely have beaten Vincent. Like, it's not likely Vincent was going to win the first tournament he'd ever been in. It's just so unsatisfying.
Is that what you meant by the blue ovaries, Amanda, or is it the actual ending of them ending on the Vincent and him playing and not telling about how it goes?
Can you tell what they're saying?
I guess not. Because it's funny, I was talking with Amanda and her friend earlier in the week, and we were talking about the Sopranos ending and how I liked that because it was kind of like a blue balls ending, but like I thought like the ending was more important and kind of came earlier. But what do you know? It takes all kinds, I guess. But actually, I kind of liked the ending on The Color of Money because that to me was his journey, was just finding his way back to the game that he loved. Like I said earlier, this is kind of like a sports movie. Well, it is a sports movie, but it's also kind of a superhero movie. It's also kind of an artist movie too. Like the way that, Amanda was describing the Bert and the other characters and stuff. It reminds me of Amadeus and the way Salieri and the other players would like kind of sink their claws into him and use him and stuff. So it's like blue balls, but
Blue ovary is the women version of blue balls.
Yeah.
The ovary possessing version of that. Yeah, it's just say very unsatisfying. And no release.
I didn't hear it until today, but I love it. I'm going to use blue ovaries all the time.
You've never heard that? That's fair.
In fact,
yeah.
it sounds like a nice like 80s progressive band, like the Blue Ovaries.
That's what I was thinking. Is like a club.
Ooh, the Blue Ovaries Club.
Yeah, the Blue Ovary Club. Yep.
I couldn't get into the Blue Ovary Club last night. Damn it.
Yeah, it's guest list.
I
Gotta be
didn't
on the
know
list.
that.
Yeah, you got
Wow.
it.
Detour.
Got with ovaries.
Detour on the Blue Ovaries. But
Someone also wants to know if your dog's a boy or a girl.
He's a boy. He's a boy. Parker. He's being a bad boy, though. You're being a bad boy. You're being a bad boy.
Yeah.
Did Brian get in on this? Like, I would love to hear Brian's thoughts.
Yeah, he was trying to type here, but I think that we might be going too fast for the typing to be satisfying. Hey, while we got you guys, while we're kind of sort of waiting for them to maybe come back, go to the link in the comments here. It's starred, it's pinned, whatever. Oh shit, it's not on Facebook. Let me take care of that.
Oh, I must have had like 50 people there that were ready to go, and now they missed the opportunity.
Well, it looks like Sheldon. No, Aaron's already.
Aaron's already there.
Following you.
Get a friend to do it, Aaron. Go.
Yeah, everybody go follow Fisticuffs. If you liked the Hustler, then you're gonna see a lot of that in Fisticuffs.
Yeah, same kind of protagonist, just somebody
with the other stuff. Yeah, the protagonist is like extremely flawed, and like Paul Newman, I know he was like this, sex god of his time, right? But like as this character, Paul Newman playing this character, I found him to be difficult to like.
Some of his best roles are him being like playing parts like that. Like another one that I think of is HUD. He is just a really just like, again, dislikable womanizer in it, and I remember not liking even the movie, but I remember liking the little FU that the kid gives him at the end of the movie, where he's like, "Really, you're a piece of shit, HUD. I don't want to be like you." But Paul Newman, I give him a lot of credit. I didn't really get into his work until like later in life, but he really ballsy performances for like somebody that could have just rested on his looks and been a fluff guy.
Right. Yeah. I agreed on that part. Like Paul Newman did cool stuff with his career. Amanda and Brian they're trying to help do this via text now here. Said the Hustler ends with Sarah's death, being all about Eddie. Her death is what gives him character. How does that work? That's not character, that's grief. Which very true. That and that felt like why he decided, like he was so stressed with grief that he thought that was a good time to go challenge Fats again, and like winning that is it's grief, it's perfect example of grief because winning that was never going to bring her back.
Mhm.
And so like just seriously to like the depths of my soul, fuck Bert in that. Like he is such a prick. Like it's an amazing character because there was nothing about him to like. He was just a wonderful, like you could just overlook so much of what was wrong with Eddie because Bert sucked so much. He
I've
really
n-
suck.
I've never liked George C. Scott, and honestly, I don't think I've really liked him in almost anything I've ever seen him in. Like he's
Yeah.
always a bastard in some way or another. Even Patton, like people love him in
Yeah.
Patton. I
Everybody
can't stand
loves
him.
him.
I can't stand him. I think he's the worst. But
I saw one movie where I didn't think he sucked in. I gotta figure out what it is.
yeah, and I'm totally with you guys too. Like watching it now through a today lens, like I understand but it's also too like that's very I don't want to, this is not a good excuse, but that's kind of how a lot of the stories of that time, there wasn't a lot of like sophistication, and it was another movie that this one really reminds me of is like On the Waterfront, and had a similar arc. I mean, they didn't fridge the woman in that movie, they fridged his brother. But a lot of the movies of that time were not like, they were still like finding the formulas. They were still kind of playing really by formula at that time and weren't dealing with a great deal of sophistication. Like Hollywood doesn't really break out of its shell until like the late 60s and 70s and stuff, and that's really in a lot of ways like the real glory times, in my humble opinion. What do I know?
Oh my god, he was Percival in The Rescuers Down Under. I forgot all about that. He's an asshole in that movie too.
He's just the worst.
Yes, he's a great asshole though.
Yeah.
No, I forgot that he was in Christmas Carol. He played Scrooge in one of the many versions out there.
And I remember not liking him after he became nice at the end. I was like, well, he's still kind of a Hey, thank you, Sheldon.
Sheldon said, I don't know, it sounds like the female might have a voice in Fisticuffs.
She's tough.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, this movie it's frustrating. Eddie's arc from The Hustler to The Color of Money is frustrating because he turns into the person he hated the most in many ways. And it is cool that right at the end there he sees, like, he's like, oh shit. And it's a shame that Forrest Whitaker had to come and beat his ass at pool in order to make him go, oh, look at what I'm doing. I'm doing the exact same thing that made me so full of hate 25 years ago. Oh, Amanda came in and swooped in and then got booted again. She said, Fred's story is different and better because he's exploring the actual character growth and change and not manipulation from others. The character is making his own choices and growing. That's true. He's not really being manipulated.
Yeah, and that's maybe
both of these things, like the young guy is being manipulated by the older guy for the benefit of the older guy, which is frustrating.
Yeah, and maybe that's why maybe I'm like too naive to see the manipulating. Well, I mean, that's not true. I do see it and stuff. Yeah, what do I know? Yeah, but it's
frustrating.
It is, and it's hard to watch too because like I still see him in some. I guess I see him as like the writer. Thank you, Brian. I guess I still see him as like the writer artist in a way, right? Because like that they really, I mean, Sarah especially really romanticizes the way he plays pool and the way he sees that and stuff. So I guess maybe a part of me sees this in some way as a guy finding his voice. I'm not saying it's just successful and stuff, but we all to some degree bring our own shit in the movies. So
yeah, he doesn't not find he finds a voice. Is it his voice? I don't know.
As a pool player, not as a person. As a person, he's kind of a bit. So.
I want to know what happens. I want to know what happens to Sarah in the book. I'm gonna Google it if Amanda and Brian can't like actually convey that message for us.
Yeah, I hope
you
we
know
get
what?
them back.
We've been fucking around on all this other stuff that we never got to, like, what do we like and dislike about the movie? We did talk about that though in a roundabout way. And we're closing in on time to do the quiz here, so we should probably try to think about wrapping it up.
Sure.
But yeah, like I liked the like you said, Paul Newman's acting in this is great. Like he is an extremely flawed character, and he was a good-looking guy his whole damn life. That son of a bitch died sexy. Okay, he was, yeah. Like he could have just rested on his laurels as a sex icon. Like he didn't have to go as hard as he did with these, but he was a legit good actor too. So
My family bought salad dressing for 20
Great
years. 'Cause his
dressing,
face
yeah.
was on it. Yeah. Like,
exactly right. Like people, like what the f- you know about salad dressing? Nobody did tell me that. Like what did Paul Newman know about salad dressing? But yet we bought that stuff.
his face was that trusted that we were like, you know what? I'll eat him on my salad. That's how much I believe him.
I said in the book, Sarah fades away alive. She just kind of leaves. Oh, are you coming?
She deserves that. I mean, she deserves a better
Yeah,
ending than
well,
they
she
give her.
deserved better than that, but she like should have shit out of somebody. Should have shit out of Bert. I'm frustrated, but yeah. So I liked the acting in this. I thought that all the actors did a great job. And I did actually in The Color of Money too. Like I think all the actors were well cast in this too. And it was before Tom Cruise became insufferable. Yeah, he sometimes he like I don't like his character, but I like how he played the character. And I was frustrated by how stupid he was. Like he was just like, oh, because like at the very beginning, Carmen shows Eddie the locket that she stole from his mother's house.
Yeah.
And then instead of being like, hey, that's my mom's necklace. Oh yeah, you're the girl who broke into my parents' house. He goes, oh, my mom has one just like it. I was like, you fucking idiot. And like, so I was like, oh, and that was my first thought when she said that to Eddie. I was like, oh, okay, so he's an idiot. And then he demonstrates that he's an idiot several times, but he's an earnest idiot. So he's cocky and he's stupid, but he's earnest. And I think that it was wrong of Eddie to come and pluck him out of that job at the Toys R Us type place, because he seemed really happy there. Like he was happy, he was enjoying, and he felt a responsibility for the job. And then Eddie's like, nah, you should come, like, you know, come and do this like hustling, very moral gray area, certainly illegal thing, and make lots more money that has way less security. Like it was freaking, what was that? 1984? Was it?
6.
1980 something. The point is, like, he could have worked his way up to a real nice position and he'd be retired by now. Like, it's bullshit, man.
At the pet store? He's not going to be like the company, you know, the CEO.
He could have gotten up into middle management and been making a very tidy salary at that, because it was the 80s and you could actually, like, you can't do that now. Just so we're clear, you cannot do that in a retail position now. But yes, thank you. They wanted to make him seem like a child, literally have him working at a child toy store. Yeah, it was the movie version of a Toys R Us. It was literally called Child World, I believe, and it grossed me out when I saw it. I was like, why would they do that? Why would they call the store Child World?
I don't have a good answer for that.
I mean, it was cheap. They didn't want to pay the rights for Toys R Us, and so they just made Child World, which also looked like it was made out of an old abandoned dress barn. Like, everything about it was weird, but it's a movie. Like, we weren't supposed to look that hard at that. I just can't help it. I like to pick apart details. Little dumb shit like that. I had to look up the Balabushka. Like, that's a real brand of pool stick. Did not know that. Thought it was really cute how he knew exactly what that was, and he was very stunned by just even holding it, and insisted that he wasn't good enough for that. That was cute.
Again, I see the artist in that, right? Like, you know, how many times have we seen that in like an artist movie where like somebody gets a guitar and they're like, holy shit, man, this is the guitar that so and so touched. Like,
Yep.
I know it's cool, but like on some level to me, like I see it as like, you know, something more.
I can only assume, Sheldon. I can only assume. But okay. So let's boot up this quiz. Oh, Amanda and Brian tried to come back. I'm sorry. Is it better if we just leave you off? Like, are you having less trouble with your connection if we just leave you off?
We'll try to get some final thoughts in there if they're able to speak.
Yeah, that would be cool. If you guys can. Here, let's see if I can do this. Audio's on. Audio only for Brian and Amanda. Is that helping?
Is that better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can hear ya.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a good start.
I just remembered that Restream can do that now. I wish I would have thought of that sooner.
Yeah, maybe that'll keep the bandwidth down so it'll stop being such a jerk face. Brian, do you have any opinions since you haven't said anything?
My whole plan for this show was to wait until somebody asked for Amanda's opinion and then just sit there eating popcorn.
Here.
One day I'll pick one that she likes, but Brian, please
Oh man.
elaborate.
I think we covered most of what I wanted to say about it. It was fun to watch an older movie and then go back and listen to the book and see where they differentiated. And the thing that I really liked about these two movies the most was that the second one was not just rehashing the first one, but from Eddie, now the older gentleman, his point of view. It was a different movie, and it was not your typical passing of the torch movie. So it subverted those expectations, and I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah, that's true. He did not. He was not training a replacement for himself. He wasn't training his heir. He was, yeah. So, okay, Fred.
Mhm.
You need to hit classic and then hit host,
Okay.
and then I think you should be all set already. Like usually the default is fine. So just hit host now so that we can see the stuff and get into the quiz.
That's right.
Everybody is as per the usual. Everybody is welcome to play, whether or not you watched the movie, whether or not you participated in the conversation. Just go ahead and scan that QR code, or go to play.blooket.com and enter that 407387 number there. Yeah, like you need internet and a device, which might exclude Brian and Amanda today.
We'll find out.
We're gonna see.
Also, fun fact about the sequel, The Color of Money, for the book that was written 2 years before the movie was made. The movie or the book is about Eddie having been a salesperson for a while. He's going through a divorce, but he had been a pool hall owner and got married, and then lost the wife and the pool hall. He goes to find Fats in Florida so that they can do a reunion tour together, doing pool hall stuff in different venues. And that's about that story in order for him to reclaim his success glory. Wildly different story.
Yeah. So it has nothing to do with this Vincent character or anything like that?
Apparently not.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. It's fascinating. And apparently the writer and Scorsese were all like, oh, I'm sure the writer would appreciate what we did here, even though it's a completely different movie.
Sheldon, Paul Newman was never going to become Fats, Eddie.
He had to sell that salad dressing.
Paul
He had to look
Newman.
lean.
Yeah, I don't believe he actually ate that salad dressing.
It was delicious.
Oh, no, he started that company because he was making salad dressing with a friend and giving it to friends. And they decided that they would start a company to sell it and then give the proceeds to charity, and just it blossomed from there. He was legit making salad dressing as a person.
That being said, today we went to the Trejo Coffee and Donuts and got Danny Trejo style donuts, and they're awesome.
They're amazing.
They
The
were good?
margarita donut, so good. Best donut I think we've had, period.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Have you had his tacos? I haven't had his tacos.
Haven't had the tacos yet, but it's on the list. And he's got cookbooks and such as well. I'm just a huge fan.
I don't appreciate all this talk of donuts when I don't get to have one.
I want to see a picture
Oh,
of the Trejo
yeah, you should be
donuts.
jealous. It's so good.
Also, a good thing we're not on video because we've got leftovers. We'll eat them in front of you.
God, you guys are the worst. Why don't we just get
Why do you let us come back?
so I don't have any other friends.
We don't get any nicer.
I do.
Oh, okay. Well,
You just got to stop me talking about what I don't like about movies.
so I think
Say
the
you-
solution here is we replace me with Sheldon.
Man, I really thought I made a
Donuts are
step in the right
poison.
direction
They're
from Clerks,
delicious
though.
poison. Sheldon says donuts are poison, which yeah, but they're
Lies. It is not. They are food, and food is good for you.
Moderation is key. Like don't
Yes,
eat
moderation is
donuts.
key. There are no bad foods. There's no evil food. There are just foods that we eat sometimes in moderation because they are.
Anybody assigning good or bad to food because that is precisely how I ended up with such a fucked up relationship with it that I'm trying
Exactly.
to train myself. And I think we all have that about something that like never should have been a demon to us, and now is because
Oh, yeah.
because our parents sucked, man. Like at varying degrees of suckage on the parents front here, you know. They're all bad. Glad I never was one.
I second
That's
that.
actually accurate. I didn't like. I always say that when somebody says something about how kids are this and and men are that or women are that, and I'll say glad I never was one. And it's only funny. It turns out it's only funny if like you actually are one or were one. It's not as funny if you say it.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like poison talk. I'm not eating 20 donuts. That's the thing. I don't think I could afford 20 Trejo donuts because surely those are a little bit on the spendy side.
They're like $4 a pop.
It's
Yeah,
not bad.
well, that's not horrible. I mean, have you ever seen the cost of those fucking crumble cookies? They're
Oh,
like
right. Yeah, those are
90%
team.
they're made of cake batter. Like they just buy literal boxes of Buddy Crocker cake batter, and like you could do that at home. You don't need to spend $6.
I have a
on
recipe. I have 4 recipes that you can do that with right now. No worries, and much cheaper.
I'll tell you what I
Make
do
this
want to
cookie
try,
dough.
though. What I do want to try, though, I would love to know what $14 bottled water tastes like. Just once. Like
I am
want-
kind of curious too. Like, I mean, we know what it's gonna taste like, but I still want to try it.
Yeah.
This has
I
been our
saw that-
philosophy for several things we've bought and tried.
I saw
He
that
tried an
picture and I was
absinthe
like,
soda.
Yeah,
A what?
I enjoyed it.
absinthe?
Soda, non-alcoholic.
Wow.
And it was a unique flavor, and it wasn't too sweet, so it was just an enjoyable thing to drink.
But herbal with a nasty ass bit of licorice going on, so he liked it.
Did you get like a
Interesting.
trippy? Like anything, Bri?
No, it's soda. It has nothing alcoholic or wormwoody, altering
Oh, okay.
states of consciousness in it. It was just strictly the herbal flavor that you would expect, but with some sugar.
Interesting.
Yeah.
California is a magical place.
Should move here.
Yeah, you should move on over here and at least visit, but also move here.
Like, am I gonna live in your guys' closet? Like, where am I
No,
gonna?
I
like, where am
already
gonna
called
go
the
to
closet.
afford? That's the problem. Is I can't afford it over there. Do you know how much comic book creators make?
Yes.
So I think we'll move Fred out of the closet. He can take the second bathroom, and then we'll move Sarah and Jeff into the closet. Sound good?
That works.
All right. It's a plan. Get your butts to
It'll work.
California.
It'll work. Where are we gonna put the cats and the dog? There's a
Nope.
dog too.
They'll get along.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. So, Sheldon went boof. Oh, everybody's leaving.
All right,
Wait,
we
okay.
ready?
Come back here.
I think your phone
It was the talk of the soda.
phones turn off. Yeah. That's
I feel like maybe it like expires. Does it? I feel like people keep.
If you
yeah.
change
if
Windows
if
on your
phone goes to
mobile,
sleep,
it'll
yeah, it'll-
boot you.
if your
All
phone goes to sleep. Oh, and you know what we didn't do while we're waiting for hopefully Sheldon can come back. I forgot. This is what I got for you guys today.
Oh, that's cool.
And
I dig the money ball.
Nice.
thanks.
Very nice.
And this is how far we are. And I actually remember to put Pyramid Head on now. So this is how far we are in the creation of the sheet without doubling anything.
Mhm.
Excellent.
Close. I think maybe
Very nice.
2, maybe 4, maybe 3 more. We'll see.
Jeez. That's been a fun year.
Did you
I
all
can't believe
comment on how much green they shoved into the color of money and all of the lighting and like the way they were framing it? I have a whole thing about how they framed and didn't frame pool tables and lampshades that we never got into.
Damn
the,
it, man.
the pool hall or the arena, I guess, where they were doing the no, it was the room where they were playing pool, like the green room where they played pool, wasn't it? Like had the green
Yeah,
pool
yeah, the
tables
back
and
room.
that blood red carpet. What was
Uh-huh.
that? That was like, is this some kind of fucked up Christmas reference? What is this? I didn't
No,
know.
they were definitely
Alright.
trying to show more of the green because a lot of the money was happening back there, and then blood's probably just because they bloody each other to get the money, and they're
Yeah,
being
yeah, that
sharks
shit,
circling each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, Sheldon's back. Start the game before he gets booted
Welcome back,
again.
Sheldon.
Go.
Thank you for making it.
Oh shit. Shit. Oh, I guessed right. I guessed. That was 100% a guess. Fast Brian, not so fast.
And he's got a turtle.
Yeah. That was different.
I thought so. Nobody could tell because they wouldn't really tell us.
Did they?
That movie was so shit on time.
They did. They referenced how long they were doing it, but they never really did say it in a straightforward way, did they? Ah, well. Of course, there was times that I was kind of zoning in and out of that movie too. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, frick. Oh, how much?
Oh
did
yeah,
Eddie
you had to. Oh, whoops.
Technically, Eddie didn't. Well, he earned. Okay, so he earned. Okay, carefully worded. Eddie
I
earned-
chose my wording carefully, miss.
Yeah. All right. I'll give it to you.
You're like over there carrying the percentages. Like, God, I'd never heard about that law before. That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if I would
Mhm.
qualify with my like with my like drop foot. I'd probably just be like, disqualified.
I
Oh.
don't know any of these people.
Guessing.
Okay.
It was Jake LaMotta. He is the subject of Raging Bull, and he played a bartender in the movie.
Oh.
No? Okay. What is Raging Bull about?
A boxer.
Oh,
Jake
I was
LaMotta's-
going to guess baseball player.
No, it's well. I wonder.
No, crap, wrong one. I knew the answer too.
Amanda, what is your favorite sports movie? Like, do you have a favorite sports movie?
Oof.
Ted Lasso.
I mean, that's not a movie.
Movie?
Thinking about my answer.
I bet he likes.
I would have to.
I bet she likes that one with Adam Sandler.
Happy Gilmore.
That would be no.
I was gonna say that.
Oh. No, the remake one. I can't remember the name of it. It was Burt Reynolds' movie. What the hell
Oh,
is that
The Longest
called?
Yard.
Yes, The Longest Yard. It wasn't bad. It's
Well-
not a good movie, but it wasn't. Yeah, The Longest Yard. It's not a good movie, but it could have been worse.
hmm
I guess because movie is that it could have been worse.
That's
That's yeah. Oh, okay. You got us. You got us.
we don't know if the wrong amount of cocaine was involved,
We didn't see how Amos was doing. I mean, Eddie said he
right?
didn't about Amos.
Because
Of
if the
course,
right
that
amount had been involved, maybe he would have never figured it out.
And there were a lot of Color of Money had a lot of great little cameos, like of like people that went on to be something, like Forrest Whitaker, what's his name, Barton Fink. Why can't I think of his name? Totoro.
Who did he play?
He was the pool guy who loses to Vincent in the beginning, and he had he was the coke user.
Oh,
Yep.
Okay,
Check the mirror.
yeah. Forgot about him. That's how important his character is.
Mhm.
He was supposed to
Right.
be there to present some kind of conflict for Eddie, I think, but he just showed how much Eddie doesn't care about his guy. Like, why did he was a hustler on his own right. Why did he need a younger kid? Just because it was
Because
easier?
it showed that Eddie was bankrolling pool players, but not actually playing pool. And so he had become Bert, so to speak. And it was just kind of making that flow through on it.
And we never really hear of Bert. Like, there was nothing about Bert in this second movie. And I would have been like, he said it's dead and buried. Like the conflict that he had out east was dead and buried, but they never actually said I was waiting for him. It's like, oh yeah, it was this guy named Bert and he's dead now. And I just would have loved to hear that. That would have
Right?
been
Oh,
my
yeah.
great.
In the book, The Color of Money, when he talks to Fats is like, why didn't you get back into the scene? And he's like, well, after Bert, essentially retired me, said I couldn't do it. And he's like, yeah, but Bert died. You still didn't, after like 10 years, you didn't come back still. So it absolutely was, he retired at that point because he played a little bit of small time pool ball here and there and then just didn't go any further. But he never resurged after he went away and those players weren't sharking anymore. So there's this whole thing that should just like, he was that dramatically impacted by it so that even after his death, he wasn't willing to go get back into the game. It's just,
That
it's a
would've
whole
made
psychological thing happening.
Yeah, pointing that stuff out would have made Color of Money a lot more dramatic.
Oh yeah. But
Kinda
they
bummed that
just-
could have gotten. Not that this one was like it's not completely irredeemable or anything like that. It's just like there were missed opportunities. But it's easy to say that as the asshole watching the movie rather than the asshole who's like busting their ass to make the movie, right? Like, it's so
right.
much
And
easier.
trying to plumb through an old movie to a new movie, an old book to a new book, and still have it, time and a place fit everything. So it's an
imagine-
interesting problem.
Imagine trying to make either of those movies set in 2026. Like, it's impossible. Because the news
No,
of
it's
this,
totally doable. And we might even be able to do it better
I don't know.
What do you
because
think?
you can directly address some of the material rather than like getting Hayes clobbered or.
That's true, but how would you hustle pool with the internet? Like you would be known as soon as you beat the first really good guy, then they would know you. But I guess the trick would not be to mark any people who were that well known in the community, and then like, oh
Yeah, but
don't know.
the internet would be like, the forums would be like, oh, so you've been betting on pool? Tell us more about that. Why don't you come down to the station and tell us about that? Like, it could be on the DL.
Yeah, it would be tough
Well,
to do that.
it also depends on how you want to reform the movie a little bit. Like if the whole point is him figuring out what success is and what he thinks of as having character in order to win. Like at the end of Color of Money, it was winning the tournament. So here it would be him trying to figure out how to win the tournament and have, fight through his demons and problems and whatever it is that's holding him back, figuring that out and working through it and being able to come out a winner.
Yeah.
And there's a number of fun ways to like explore that space. Like there's a lot of meat there, as Fred has shown with his comic.
Thank you. Yeah, well, as I think about this a
Sheldon
bit,
brings up a great point that they probably in this day and age would think it's AI, yes, and then just be like, yeah, no. If he's real, then he needs to come play me.
and the more I think,
Oh yeah.
the more we talk about this, and the more I think about it, right? And now that I know what Amanda's saying about like there being this real like meaty novel out there that they kind of like disregard it and whatever. Like I kind of like am more inclined to believe what I think that about this movie was that like it was kind of these like filmmakers kind of doing their spin on like like the special savant artist type character, right? Because like when you mentioned like Totoro's character, to me like that was the point of Vincent, was like he's the prodigy, and that's what brought him back into the thing. Like he wouldn't have gotten back in the pool if it was just Totoro's character trying to bring him back in, because he wasn't good enough. It's this, I think it's like this to some degree Scorsese falling in love with the story of like, I'm a special hard to interpret genius, and this is me kind of acting that out in these movies. So I think that there's
100%.
yeah, like I think they kind of like co-opted the story in that way. Like we talked, Kubrick did that with the Shining novel. He kind of took it and made it his own thing. And you were saying earlier how like, a lot of people are like, oh, they think it's great that they're adapting my thing. Like, no, not really. If they're not adapting your actual thing, only, it's not always
They're making it their own. And what fully supports you on that is that when he's in the bar just selling the whiskey and sort of listening to what's happening, giving money, when the kid cracks the ball, it's like deafeningly loud and it gets his attention, and he's now like all of his attention focuses to the game. He is lured back literally to the game because he can hear and sense this talent that is like his, and it's calling to his talent, because then he's like, can I beat this? I'm interested in it. And at first he thinks of it as being, oh, I should mentor this kid like I was mentored, so to speak. But then he realizes he actually wants to be doing it again. And then at the tournament, all of the balls cracking at once was loud. And then all of the other shots are not, until they get back to the two of them doing it at the end shot. And he does his crack after doing the really somewhat ridiculous, the seeing his face in the ball shot. And then he does the crack, and it's incredibly loud because he is now back on his game. Like that, they've carried that sound through the movie to try and be indicating things, which I thought was really interesting choice.
Yeah, and one of the things that you're touching on that I really like about the movie is, to me, this is like Scorsese, like nearing his peak, right? Like I think his best directed film is Goodfellas. Like it's where he kind of perfects his, his like smash bang cut of, he does it a lot in this movie too, where he'll do like, like really fancy zoom shots and like really cut, like it's almost like hyperactive, like frenetic, action out of like the mundane that he creates. Almost like Edgar Wright does, nowadays. But he really like directs the hell out of this movie. Like this is like near peak Scorsese. It's a lot of things that I like. It's like a movie like in that New Jersey, New York era in that time, which I'm fond of. It feels a little bit like home to me. There's a lot that
nice.
It has working that that I love about it, and that I think bookends it well. It's just, of course,
nice.
Everything Amanda pointed out as well. So.
Well, and Scorsese was going through like a low period, like a depressive period, and he was working through some shit, and I think he worked it out through the movie, and that's why it kind of has a like someone with talent trying to reignite, and like what does that look like and how does that progress. And so I think that was a really like, I think that comes through as a result, and you're seeing it both like from his side as well as the character's journey.
Yeah, that's an interesting point you make, because you're right. Like at that point in his life, he was coming off Raging Bull in 1980, which he probably should have won the Oscar for, and he didn't. And then like the early 80s was kind of a lull for him, and he really wasn't, hitting it out of the, out of the park like he was in the 70s. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. Like I said, there's so much with both of these movies to just kind of look at and explore, and the themes, and holy crap, all the abuse. And yeah.
Yeah. And I think, again, if there is a redeeming message in the book, in the first movie, it's that he was able to walk away from it. Like that is, I'm not saying it's, a perfect, it's not like, Casablanca ending and shit. But it is like something that you don't see often, like which is kind of somebody winning by laying their sword down. So
Yeah, and it was really interesting because that scene specifically was he won because Fat finally said it was time, and then immediately Bert's trying to get his cut and trying to hustle him into becoming a player in his stable, and he's like, no, because he finally realized, he finally had the pin drop about what he thought, meant what success really looked like. And then it was also, I mean, they were trying to shoehorn in I have character now because of her, and you killed her, so I don't want to work with you. But it was more about like his realization about what he wanted. I wonder if Bert hadn't pushed right then, if he would have still done anything resembling a walk away, or if he would have then, proceeded to keep going down the same path.
Yeah, but it's funny to me, like Bert in that scene, you really see the dynamic of like an abusive husband and like or like an emotionally abusive husband and like, a wife kind of play out, where like, when they get like a bit of their dignity and stuff, and then like he's trying to like negotiate with them back into subservience, where it's like, yeah, you can have 50% or whatever like, yeah, you did better, but like we'll still get you back like under my arm a little bit. It's this real like moment of like Bert trying to like mask his own desperation to keep him.
Mm-hmm. Did we lose them?
I think we did.
Damn it.
Yeah. I was gonna say they weren't thinking that hard.
We were really well for a bit there, weren't we? Like
we did. It felt like we were working.
Yeah. Heard something. Yeah. Yeah. It like I should have done that right away.
Yeah.
I didn't. I forgot. Now we know for next time, though.
There it goes.
Hey, they're back.
Sort of. Hello.
Yes, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just there was lots to deconstruct in all of that. So good pick, Fred. Sorry I didn't get to give you the full rundown, but we got to a lot of the highlights.
No,
although
I
really, how rapey was that movie? Ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The first one especially is really. But
not great.
And honestly, like when they were breaking his fingers, it very much looked like they were raping him.
Oh, I think that's 100% what they were doing.
Is that what they were trying for?
Oh, that's what they were doing.
Sure as hell looks like what they were trying for.
I think that's what they were doing.
Yeah, like it looked.
Yeah, they had to have known how that looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost reminded me of the rape scene in Shawshank Redemption, where it just kind of like, it sets up it doesn't get too gory with it. It just kind of sets up enough and kind of pans away so you know what's happening off screen. And you're right.
Yeah. My question really is, though, was that to either show him as being emasculated because he had just like lost in general, or because, Bert was trying to like tear him down so that he'd be more susceptible to the abuse? Or was this because Hays Code has a thing where anyone who's doing gambling or anything illegal, they cannot be shown to be profiting or having a good time with it? So he had to be punished for being, a gambler as well. Like everyone has to get a punishment.
I think it is a combination of that, right? I think that they were very aware of like how they had to, one of my favorite other movies of this era is Double Indemnity. And if you go back and like one of my favorite documentaries is like they pick apart all the ways that they got around the Hays Code specifically with that movie, because they're, they were like really hamstrung back then. I mean, that was what.
Well, yes and no. They were really hamstrung if they actually got to it and gave them the changes, but they were very understaffed, so people slid by with stuff. And then there were the people who did the educational film loopholes, which were super disturbing. So yeah. There was a lot going on for that. Oof.
Yeah. But I think it was a combination.
Wild.
I think it was really a combination of that, and I think too, like it's also a story from like the point of view of like male writers. So like they're really trying to put this character through the ringer. I'd imagine that they were like, how can we like really, well, that's like as emasculated as we can make a character in their minds. So I'm not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, we've ran massively over time. I'm so sorry.
This
I-
pause is as good as any is to wrap it up. So
Yeah.
we've been here for an hour and a half, almost hour and 20. So yeah, good chat.
Yeah.
Very productive, everybody.
We will.
Next week, DM Ray's coming back. I don't think he has anything to promote. We just wanted to talk about Willow. So
Yep.
coming back.
Oh,
We're
Willow.
going to talk about Willow.
I'm excited.
And I'm
I've never
making the
seen Willow.
quiz.
Oh shit.
Uh,
So yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna do that. And then, Fred, when do you launch again?
May. I haven't actually set the exact date yet, but we've got.
Okay.
I'm running a few things in the next couple of weeks to drum up awareness, and I'll be announcing very soon when I set
All
the
right.
date.
So you're gonna be May. It's gonna be May.
Oh no.
I make me chuckle.
No, it's fine.
Um,
It's fair. I'm
yeah.
a big NSYNC fan. What can I say?
Good deal. Yes, R.I.P. Val Kilmer. I don't think there's a movie that I've seen him in that I just genuinely don't like his character. And he's a great actor.
Well, he's
Um,
doing the AI movie, so give that a chance.
What?
Crazy about the idea, but like the idea of it, and like the fact that the family and the estate, they all gave their blessing, and like I don't know, I'm trying not to hate on it before it's out there. So just such a complicated relationship with AI. It's not great.
Right?
Anyway,
I mean, he wasn't the most emotive actor, so they might be able to get away with it.
no, that's true. That's true. He was very like, if young Val Kilmer would have made a movie with Ryan Reynolds, like imagine, it would be too sarcastic, right? That would be too snarky of a movie by a long shot. Like it would have been insufferable.
I'm trying to think. There's somebody else that I think Ryan Reynolds would be worse with. Ryan Reynolds is one of my most insufferable people.
Jim Carrey.
Insufferable.
Oh, I
That'd be
like Jim
wild.
Carrey. I like
Oh,
Jim.
Oh,
yeah,
I like
maybe-
Jim Carrey.
Right,
but Putting those two
Val
in the same
Kilmer
room
in-
would.
Val Kilmer in Real Genius is so fucking Ryan Reynolds-y. Like Ryan Reynolds is Val Kilmer-y. But Val Kilmer, like he was a smartass in that movie, but he also played he was also not a smartass in every movie, which is interesting because I only know one movie where Ryan Reynolds isn't a smartass, and that one is tough to watch, and I don't want anybody to
Is it the one
traumatize
where
themselves.
is it the one where he was fat and then he loses weight? Is he an asshole in
No.
that one?
I believe so. Yes, I only saw that one once, but no, this one is he's a contractor over in a war-torn area, and he ends up getting kidnapped, and a horrible thing happens to him. He gets kidnapped by insurgent, and then a horrible thing happens to him. And like, you guys can look it up if you are, like look it up at your own risk. Though it's such that I watched too much of it and it fucked me up, and I don't want that to happen to anybody else. Okay, so
See,
like,
those are good
Google it
warnings.
at your own risk. But anyway, next week we're gonna watch Willow. Go follow the pre-launch. It's in the link is there, pinned up in the comments here. The link for Fisticuffs. Go follow. Go follow the pre-launch for Noctiluca. The link is also pinned there. That one's launching April 14th. We'll see what happens with that one. Looking forward to the absolute, like, have no idea what's gonna happen with this one. So
It's
we'll
gonna
see.
do great.
And I hope so. Got some awesome covers. Got a new awesome cover by Kiss Kiss. If you guys haven't seen it yet, it's up on the socials. So go look at it. It's really pretty.
Oh yeah, I should announce here we Kiss Kiss and I are launching. We have Kiss Kiss and I have a Fisticuffs Book 4 cover that we're collaborating on, and we were just talking before this show that we're gonna do a little tease each day leading up until next Tuesday when we're gonna release the whole thing. But if somehow we get like an influx of people and we can somehow get to 100 followers somehow, we'll just drop it right away. So if you guys really want to see some really sexy, really awesome Kiss Kiss art, help us get some followers now. Let's get 100 and let's get it released.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do it.
Everybody
Help 'em
go
out.
follow. We got one. I know Sheldon said that he followed, so I know we got at least one.
Hell yeah.
It says 63.
All right.
Oh.
Well,
By the
instead-
end of the night. That's what I said. Which is not until 11:59 p.m. And we're gonna go with Pacific time because, like, why not?
Why not? And
So we
still,
get more time.
I still expect Aaron to deliver and Kevin.
Yeah.
We told them.
Yeah, Aaron and Kevin, what's going on here? Just make another account. Take care of it.
Brian, I just saw the absinthe soda. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. We're gonna go now because like this is we peaked. We're not getting any better for the night. Yeah, come back next week and we're gonna talk about Willow. You should watch the movie if you guys come and watch this, but you don't watch the movie first. You should watch the movie like in this next week because the fresher it is in your mind, the more you can trash it with us, and it's really fun.
Exactly.
And do well in the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and win the quiz. And post in the comments what should the sticker be? Because I'm gonna draw it. So like, no, be kind, but what should
be a
we
sticker.
do? It should be what?
You'll see.
To be fair, I haven't seen Willow in like 25 years, so I don't remember anything about it.
That'll do it.
Time for us to leave. John, I'm sure you already followed Fisticuffs, but if you haven't, you should go do that.
Yes, sir,
It's in
John.
the links in the comments. So, all right. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Thanks for joining.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
All right. Bye.